And that's why these types of individuals will always need more knowledge. They read more books, they read more of this and more of that. They want to know more about everything else, and it never suffices to keep them secure. Hey guys, Masati here from Xponential Intelligence, and this episode of Xponential Intelligence, where we go into the deep science on how this reality works. And today we're going to be talking about masks, obviously. And so how you wear your mask says a lot more about you than what you think. And I came up with 6 different personality types of mask wearers. We're going to jump right in. What you just saw was the mask of worry. The mask of worry is a frequency of being hyper fearful. So it's basically a victim frequency. So no matter what environment they're in, they're victimized by that environment. Okay, and I'm sure you know many people like that. You might be kind to them, for example, and they might think of it as they're being victimized. So this individual is always fearful. So, for example, if one mask is going to keep you safe, and it's always about safety. One mask is going to keep you safe. I'm going to wear 2 masks or 3 masks, and then a face shield or those body coverings. This is the type that they never will feel secure with what is available to them. No matter how secure, they could be in a bunker and they won't feel secure. So again, it's not about the mask. It's not about how many masks you wear. It's not about the science behind the mask or anything like that. Although they will listen to any science, even if it's illogical, they will listen to it because it is a pretense that X is going to make me feel secure. If you told them that drinking poison is going to make them feel secure, they will start to conceptualize and drink that poison. So again, that's how incongruent they become, or that's how fearful they become. A lot of governments use this to perhaps spread the initiation of vaccines and so on. By the way, they make you become so fearful, and at a fearful level, you get more fear and more fear and more fear, and then at that fearful level, any suggestion given to you will make sense to you because you want to get out of that pain, you want to get out of that strife, and that's how any type of government or any type of control mechanism will cause you to actually want to do what they want you to do out of your own accord. So the mask of fear is, again, it's all about if one mask is going to keep me safe, I'm going to wear 2 or 3. But the point is that they will never feel safe. It's just like an individual who's always getting fear, being attacked. They're going to have like 10 deadbolt locks on their door. Unfortunately, most of those individuals who are like that or run fear patterns like that, they attract fear into them more so. So they would be the ones more likely to get any type of disease. Anything that they're fighting against, they would most likely get. If they're fearful of, if they're deathly fearful of, say, being attacked, most likely those individuals will experience attack. The second type of personalities is the mask of control, or why they would wear a mask. Okay, it's not about how you wear the mask. It literally is like why, or again, how. Because some people wear it underneath their nose, or they wrap it tight around their nose, underneath their nose. They wear it under their chin, whatever it might be. So the second personality is the mask of control. Okay, this is a frequency, again, fearful. Okay, and it's not because they're fearful of being attacked, or they're fearful of the unknown, or they're fearful of death. This is that they don't have an identity. So it's not about intelligence or anything like that. These are highly intelligent people that fall into the science of why you should wear a mask. And the reason why, again, no matter if science disproves it or not, the reason why they wear it is because it makes them look, say, intelligent. Okay? Because they have no identity of themselves. Okay? And then they would go with the mass consciousness, and this is where the government or media will go, you're highly intelligent if you wear a mask, and you're really dumb if you don't. And I'm sure you've experienced this, right? If you're not wearing a mask, people will look at you and it's like, oh, this guy is dumb, right? I'm smarter, I'm better than them. Okay, they could be a PhD. They could win a Nobel Prize for, I don't know, physics and all that, but still they're insecure about their identities. So these type of individuals would have to absorb more and more knowledge about something to stay secure, and they never do. And that's why these types of individuals will always need more knowledge. They read more books, they read more of this and more of that. They want to know more about everything else, and it never suffices to keep them secure. And that's why they need more and more. So this type of individual, if they start to understand that you are intelligent, because intelligence is a key of security for them. Okay, it's a key of knowing. It's a key of, say, they have control over other people, and they use their intelligence to, again, either destroy other people, belittle other people, or basically control other people or step on other people because they're insecure about themselves. This type of individual will only listen to evidence that is based on their belief systems. And again, their belief system is not based on the science. Their belief system is that media is telling them that they should wear a mask because it'll make you intelligent. So if you look at media, it's all about that, right? You're intelligent, you're following the science, and those people who don't wear the masks, well, they're dumb, they're idiotic, they're back. Or if you don't get vaccinated, you're an idiot, right? Because this is the new thing, this is the latest. You're living in the past. If you're not, it's a trendy of intelligence as well. This third one is a mask of identity. I'll read this. This frequency tends to go with the flow with no thought or decision. So since they have none of their own, they don't want to ruffle feathers. So they'll morph into anything others need if it creates a sense of dominance. They'll follow anything anyone says, like media, without question, because an authority figure said it. They follow rules to make them feel they are a good person, not out of logic. They look down on others who don't follow the rules to make them feel like a good person. You'll get slogans like, "Let's do the right thing. It's no big deal to wear a mask," a do-gooder, not because they are actually doing the right thing, but someone else is pleased with what they are doing. It gives them a feeling of dominance over others. So very similar to the mask of control, but the mask of control, again, is all about, say, intelligent dominance. This is about the mask of identity. They have no identity. They have no sense of self. So they would always have to morph into, say, the status quo or what the fad is. And these types of individuals will follow fads. If, say, sneakers are in, they're going to wear sneakers. Or, back in the day, like big ties were in, they would wear a big tie. The next day, narrow ties are in, they'd wear narrow ties again. So they go with the flow of consciousness. Wherever the masses go, they're going to adapt to that. If they're in a party with, say, drugs are in fad, right? Drugs are the latest thing. Although they might not take drugs or anything, they'll start taking drugs just because they want to be liked. Right? So it's got nothing to do with science. It's got nothing to do with anything else, but they just want to be in the group that feels, say, the most dominant or has an identity. Right? This type of, the mask of identity is literally based on or a support mechanism for the mask of control. The mask of logic. This type of mask wearer, okay, or why you would wear a mask. And again, these types of individuals would like pull down their mask, underneath their nose, or wear it on their chin, or if nobody is looking, they're just gonna, take off the mask, or they would forget to wear the mask. Again, they just do it for, posterity, basically. And I'm just gonna read you. By the way, I wrote all these personalities. It's easier for me to read them. Okay, the mask of logic. So this frequency uses logic and real science to analyze the situation. They look at all aspects of the situation, not just that fits their beliefs. So they look at all the science. They dig deeper into the science. They just don't trust, say, the authorities or talking heads on the news. They do their own research. They have their own intuition. Okay? They have an internal guidance. They trust themselves. Okay? They create their own experiences and test that against the logic that other people are telling them that is based on science. They try to separate fact from hype, emotions and low-level logic, a free thinker, as you will. They are not emotionally charged. They follow protocol dictated to bypass trouble. So they would just wear a mask, again, to bypass trouble. It's not that because they are weak, but they don't want to waste time with people who have an agenda. It is futile to discuss logic with madmen. A caution to many that if you think you are this type of person, and many will think that they are this type of person, and if you get emotionally, say, charged, negative or positive, reading this type, then you're not that type of person. Okay? Again, they don't get emotionally charged. They look at the facts. They're self-recognized or self-realized. They don't have to have an identity. Okay? They look at what improves their life. They look at what expands and makes them a better person, to not only for themselves, but for a society as well. And they bypass trouble. Okay? They bypass trouble because, like I said, trying to change somebody else's mind, if they're crazy or set in a way, is futile. So this type of personality is called the mask of the futile underdog. So this frequency is what makes conspiracy theorists look bad, no matter what media or control mechanisms say. They will do the opposite and propose a vile hidden agenda behind it. For example, authorities say that breathing oxygen is good for you. So the government says, hey, breathe better, more oxygen, fresher air. They will come up with a conspiracy theory on why is the government saying that. They will say, well, maybe there is something behind it, right? That the government wants you to breathe good air because they want to control you at some level. So no matter what you say to them, it's always the opposite. They always fight for the opposite, even if it's good for them. They will make a counterclaim against it. Obviously, their life is full of suspicion of everything and everyone. Extreme types start to become suspicious of their own existence. This is where they become fearful. This is where you have psychosomatic illnesses like schizophrenia and illnesses of that nature, where they become fearful or they think that the world is against them. I call them the futile underdog because the underdog is usually a victim mentality, and the difference between an underdog personality and a victim is that a victim lies down and gets beat up all the time, so they don't fight. An underdog is basically a victim that keeps getting up and then gets beat up and falls down. They stand back up and then they get beat up. They stand back up, they get beat up. So that's the only difference between, say, a victim mentality and an underdog. And many people root for the underdog, but if you look at any cause that was the underdog, that cause, they didn't get anywhere. That cause never solved. Think of it. Look at fighting for peace, fighting for abolishing drugs, fighting for your right to do whatever, fighting for the women's movement. Again, women are still victimized, and that's the problem with this type of personality. So the last one, the sixth of the personality types, is the mask of the sufferer. So this personality is that this frequency is of a victim, a severe victim. They'll do everything right, follow the rules, and even go beyond. Unfortunately, they'll somehow get the disease or suffer many other ways. The mask becomes a sign for everyone to see that they are suffering. They'll even wear the mask when alone to prove to themselves that life is for suffering. It's designed for you to suffer. They write their own prison sentence. They are the judge, the jury, the executioner. So over time, as I've analyzed people, going through airports, going through, working on thousands and thousands of individuals, just observing people, because that's what I do. I started to read people and started to notice how and why they're wearing this mask. And I came up with the 6 personality types. So the mask of the sufferer, those personalities, they will create anything into, say, suffering. These types of personalities are, say they have an opportunity to enjoy an outing, but there's only 6 people that can go. They would be the person that would go, no, I'm going to stay home. You guys all go and have fun. And what they'll do is that they'll make you feel guilty because you're suffering and you stayed home. That's the difference. Okay? So no matter what they do, it's always about suffering or always about abusing themselves at some level, because in their life, they've created an identity about suffering or, say, shortage or lack or whatever it might be. The food that might be, say, tasteful or nutritious, for example, as they eat it, they will have to suffer for it because they can't enjoy enjoying. So as you go through the process, again, your mask says a lot, or how and why you wear your mask says a lot about your personality, okay? And this isn't to prove mask wearing is right, mask wearing is wrong, but again, understand how and why you wear the mask. It'll help you reclaim who you are. It'll help you identify why you're wearing the mask and why your life is the way it is. And then as you understand why, maybe it's a great opportunity for you to change and live a better life.